Alright guys, we're in the 14 Panamera Turbo. About to jump up on the Truman. Give it hell for a little bit. As soon as the light changes, this will give me a second to talk about the car. So this is a really nice example. It has a really solid build. It has PSE, which is relatively rare on turbos. Most of them don't have it, as I've come to find out. The adaptive cruise is nice. Premium Pack Plus, of course, gives you heated and cooled seats, rear climate, lane change assist. Now the wheels on the car came off a 2016 GTS that I had. The car was born with the Turbo 2s, but I thought these wheels looked better than the Turbo 2s, and in my opinion the Turbo 2s look better on the GTS that I had, so I switched them. The black in these wheels really picks up the black trim and kind of, not blacked out, but just the overall darker appearance of this car. Alright, so we're in Sport, and we're gonna go give it hell. And then at the end of the video, I'm just gonna roll these into one. I'm gonna do a demonstration showing that the adaptive cruise is a 100% functional. Alright, here we go. So that was Sport, and I wasn't even barely into the throttle. And we hit 70 like it was nothing. Here, it's going to downshift. So we're in fourth at 3,200 RPM, going 65. We're still in fourth gear. Alright, so now we go into Sport. It's going to downshift on its own in the fifth. So we're in fifth, same speed at 2,000 RPM. And now if we go out of Sport, we're going to downshift in the seventh. And we're at 1,400 RPM going the same speed. do this is quite simple. I could just say the adaptive cruise works, and I truly wish that would be enough. But the first Mercedes I did that had Distronic, which is their version of adaptive cruise, man, everybody's asking me, does it Distronic work? And I say, yes, it works, it works, it works. So finally I said, if I just make a video showing that it works, that will eliminate all the questions. And I did, and it did. So, that's what we're going to do. Let me grab my phone real quick. So we can also pan down here showing all systems go at operating temp. Alright, watch out for the median. Alright, so the adaptive cruise is that little box right in the information cluster. So there it is right there, ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control. So even though it's off, it still has a passive function that if you get too close to a car, it'll let you know. So right now it is on, but not engaged. So we're going to engage it. Alright. So that's the speed I was going when I engaged it. So we're going to speed her up here to 70. And then we're going to put the distance all the way out. Okay, so that little white icon is saying that there's a car ahead of us, which there is. I can see it. You guys probably can't, especially with the drizzle. So we're still catching on it, or gaining on it. So you see the speed of the car matches the speed of the cruise. So we're going to speed this up so we'll catch up to it. And he's exiting. So we're not going to catch up to that guy. So I ratchet, okay, so it's picking up the car in front of us. Well, it's at a distance where it's not regulating our speed yet, but as soon as we close the gap, it will. Alright, so I picked it up. So the car is slowing it. I'm not doing that. The car is slowing us down. The car is saying in order to maintain the gap, which I've specified, the cruise is at 70. It's saying you have to go 63. So if I shorten the gap, so I move the icon closer, we're going to speed up. Not a lot. Because, okay, so we're going 64 now. So if I want to extend the gap, I extend the distance and we're going to slow down. So there's the car. It's kind of hard to see. So now we're going 60 because we're maintaining the gap. The car is maintaining the gap. I'm not doing this. Okay, so he's going to exit. And then we're going to speed, well, there's a car in front of him. We're going to speed up a little bit. And what's nice about this is if you're in the fast lane, and you can, you know, you're keeping a longer gap like I am right now. All right, there's a bunch of people getting on, so I'm going to disengage cruise in the interest of safety. So what I was saying is, if there's a bunch of people, so if your gap is as long as you want it to be, like the longest gap setting, and the folks in front of you aren't getting the message that you want to go faster, instead of disengaging the cruise, you can just shorten the gap so you'll catch up to them, and then they'll move over. So even though we're not engaged, it's showing us that we have these cars in front of us, as you can see. Okay, so if I engage, I'm gonna engage. Okay, so that's the speed we were going. So we're gonna bump it up to 70. Now it's gonna pick up these cars in front of us. Alright, there's an Audi trying to merge, so I gotta back off manually. So when I hit the brake, you saw the icon went from orange to white, which means no longer engaged. So I did a resume back to 70, the previous setting. Now the car is figuring out the gap, and it will adjust the speed accordingly. So that guy is taking off. So we're gonna get up to probably 67 maybe, and then it'll stop. So I'm gonna close the gap, right? Close the gap. We're gonna speed up and get closer to that guy. Extend the gap. I think we get the idea. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. If you got questions, let me know. Thank you.